Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This first video clip I'm going to show you, which is right behind me here on the screen, is very graphic. This girl did go to jail behind this. It's pretty sickening what she's doing. I remember this happened a while back, but somebody put it up as a meme. I'll show you here directly, keeping you in suspense. Somebody put this up as a meme today as Joe Biden signing the presidential pardons. Just a meme of that. And it made me start thinking about this factor right here, that this is actually what happened for the last 4 years. America and Joe Biden were being treated this way by this long-haired Democrat stuffing the money in her bra. And that literally happened on all levels of government, from top down. I think when the COVID started, and as soon as Trump left after the COVID, they started sucking that money up and finding other ways to just let loose on the big steel and destroy our economy is what they did. But this video here is my impression of what happened to our country, uh, being robbed while we were asleep at the wheel. It happened over about 15 or 20 years. It didn't just happen during Trump's term or after Trump's term with the Joe Biden. It was bad enough for those 4 years, but this actually started way back when, even before Obama. But I think Obama was the architect of the socialist, communist push in our country, including the whole trans movement as well. But I don't want to get off track here on that. But everybody in this video, in these video clips I got for you, is either under investigation or going to go to jail or in jail. Talking about arrests and stuff, folks. I said it yesterday on my last video. Bad as the sound was, I did have a point to it. I did get better Bluetooth today. Left this one at work yesterday. So hopefully it sounds better. But my video yesterday, I said, don't worry, people are going to go to jail. We're not going to sit here and go through all of this trouble to expose the rats, whether it be Epstein Island uh, or even the slush funds that they boondoggled with the USAID, COVID money that was stolen, money that was allocated for illegals that shouldn't have been by government officials. So many things. So there's so many crimes that I couldn't name them all in 2 hours that have been perpetrated on this country by politicians and the bureaucrats and the like on both sides. And it's been going on for way too long. And I'm glad to see Trump is finally going to stop this crap. And he's got the right team to do it. So have faith in people like Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. I hear a lot of negativity about the two because nothing's happening fast enough for a lot of people. People want to see them hung high yesterday, and I get that. But you got to let things be laid out in such a way that there's undeniable proof when you do bring your presentation. That's what we need. We need to be able to lay out how dirty Adam Schiff is the day that they serve him a warrant. That would be awesome, folks. I'm ready to hear it, and I have to believe it's coming. I have to believe people like Adam Schiff will go to jail. Uh, Bob Menendez went to jail, and I think Adam Schiff is 10 times the crook he is. Now, folks, I got a little bit of reading to do, so break out the old trusty goggles. These aren't my good pair, but this here is just in. Kash Patel's FBI charges high-ranking CBP official in FEMA fraud scheme scandal, where the FEMA money was being reallocated to the CBP to facilitate these illegals into our country. It says Kash Patel took to X on Wednesday to announce a major breakthrough in the fight against public corruption. The following efforts with our interagency partners, I can report that a career director level employee at U.S. Customs and Border Protections has been charged with allegedly attempting to defraud FEMA as well as lying to federal agents, Patel wrote. He continued, this is part of the new FBI's renewed effort to crack down on public corruption and deliver accountability for the American people. Justice will be done. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. says a career director level employee at U.S. Customs Border Protection has been slapped with federal charges allegedly scamming FEMA money. Says I hate it when they repeat themselves. Says according to a freshly unsealed federal complaint, Baker Hill exploited a federal disaster declaration after Baker Hill is the county. Says after the floods hit Michigan in August 2023, she applied for FEMA aid, claiming her basement was damaged and that she couldn't live in her home while repairs were underway. Miss Baker slash Hill, 55-year-old, a Detroit-based CBP bigwig overseeing the Center for Excellence, as a Democrat thing, and expertise over automotive and aerospace engineering. I bet you it gets that Democrat slush fund in there somewhere. Them big long title names like that, they hiding the money. She thought she could pull a fast one with the hardworking American taxpayers, according to this press release, to a freshly unsealed federal complaint. FEMA, trusting her word, handed over the cash for home repairs and 2 months of rental assistance to cover temporary housing. However, she didn't use a dime of that money for rent, hotels, or utilities. Bank records exposed her scheme. She pocketed the funds while cozying up in her supposedly unlivable home. She just applied, got the money, and kept it. Now, even Fox News has got a little bit about it. Now, this is just a small fish as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she's a high level person, but this is not a I want to see the big fish fry. But it's a good start.
A Fox News alert and some breaking news from the FBI. Director Kash Patel posting on social media that a high-ranking official at Customs and Border Protection is facing criminal charges.
Patel saying, quote, a career director level employee allegedly attempted to defraud FEMA and allegedly lied to federal agents in the process.
There we go. He's on the hot seat now. In Minnesota. They do a lot of things dirty over in Minnesota, including try to steal elections. And I said it. Justice will be done. I read that already. Okay. Jump on to the next one. We got several of these, folks. I got about 5 or 6 of these. We'll go through them as quick as we can. EPA launches the biggest deregulatory action in U.S. history with Lee Zeldin rolls out 31 groundbreaking actions to save Americans trillions of dollars, slash costs, and supercharge job growth. He's going to do that as the Secretary of the EPA. Let's go ahead and he's got his list of 30 here. We're going to go ahead and listen to him, see if he lists them all. I haven't listened to this one yet, folks. We're going to do it together fresh.
Today, I'm pleased to make the largest deregulatory announcement in U.S. history. The Environmental Protection Agency is initiating 31 historic actions to fulfill President Trump's promise to unleash American energy, revitalize our auto industry, restore the rule of law, and give power back to the states. EPA will be reconsidering many suffocating rules that restrict nearly every sector of our economy and cost Americans trillions of dollars. Our actions include the Biden administration's deeply flawed Clean Power Plan 2.0, mercury and air toxic standards, Quad O BC, particulate matter 2.5, light, medium, and heavy car and truck rules, NESHAPs, and the so-called social cost of carbon. To advance cooperative federalism, EPA will partner with states that were universally rejected by the last administration's Good Neighbor rule. Among many other actions, today's momentous day also includes the 2009 endangerment finding, along with all actions that rely on it. I've been told the endangerment finding is considered the holy grail of the climate change religion. For me, the U.S. Constitution and the laws of this nation will be strictly interpreted and followed. No exceptions. Today, the Green New Scam ends as the EPA does its part to usher in the golden age of American success.
Good deal.
Our actions will lower the cost of living by making it more affordable to purchase a car, heat your home, and operate a business. Jobs will be created, especially in the U.S. auto industry, and our nation will become stronger for it. From the campaign trail to day one and beyond, President Trump has delivered on his promise to unleash energy dominance and lower the cost of living. We at EPA will do our part to power the great American comeback.
I love it. I love it. That's nothing but good stuff. Nothing but good stuff. I'm ready, ready, ready. Deregulation. That sounds good. That sounds like prices are going to come down. Bear with me today, folks. I have a sore throat. I've been doing a lot of ceiling tiles at work and been eating a lot of insulation. got, got, need a drink. Wife. Okay, I got a couple more clips here for you, folks. Don't let me get distracted. All right. Now, this is a crazy story. It says Trenton Fire Chief and Box Elder Judge, Box Elder is the county, I believe, discussed sexually exploiting the youngins, according to these charging documents. So they've already been charged. It looks like there's two of them. Let's see here. Let's read this story. I read a little bit of it earlier on the Gateway Pundit, but I found this link instead. I think it's got a little more information. It said in Salt Lake City, two Box Elder County officials are being accused of sexually enticing the youngins while being in their own relationship, court documents stated. Oh, so these were a couple of freaks working together. You know what I mean, working together. And they were going out and, damn. On Monday, I got to be careful with my words here. On Monday, the Trenton Fire Chief, Ned Brady Hanson, 54, was charged with 8 first-degree felony counts of aggravated sexual exploitation of a youngin in the First District Court. So we have 2 county officials, and the judge has been charged with 8 first-degree felonies. In November, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received a tip that on the internet-based chatting application Kick was sharing videos, images of child pictures material on the platform, according to the police affidavit. The investigation led to Hanson's arrest in January, according to the court document. He admitted to the police that he saved videos on his phone, owned the account associated with the tip. Mm. The defendant stated that he had pornography addiction, and that over previous several years he had developed um, a taste for females, but young girls, should I just say. It says while searching Hanson's electronic devices, investigators found multiple chats with another person, which is discovered to be Kevin Robert Christensen, 64, Box Elder County Judge. There's the second suspect. According to the court document, Hanson and Christensen spoke about how they would do bad things to kids, including extended family members of one of the men. Wow. Eventually, two discussed meeting up in person and engaged in doing the nasty, the document stated. It says, according to the court document, Christian was the judge who presided at Hanson's bail and released him despite law enforcement's request to hold him without bail. Oh, so the judge that was guilty too granted his buddy, his cohort, uh, just wanted to let him out. Christian did not disclose that he had engaged in in the sexually charged chats regarding kiddos. With defendant Hanson and law enforcement believe that this fact materially affected the decision making of Christensen at the time he released Hanson, court documents stated. According to the documents, this prompted an investigation into Christensen, and the investigators discovered the two's relationship. Mhm. On Monday, Christensen was also charged with first degree in the first district court with 2 counts of enticing a youngin, using the internet, 1 second-degree felony, 1 third-degree felony, 2 counts of dealing in material harmful to a youngin, 3 counts of attempting aggravated sexual exploitation of a youngin, and obstruction of justice, third-degree felonies, according to the court. They throwing the book at these guys. I'm glad to see it. And it just goes on to tell you how you can get a hold of family support lines and things of that nature if you want to. But this is what we have so far. The judge and his buddy were obviously doing things they shouldn't have been doing, and the ass is going to go to jail behind it. Good job. Obstruction, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Judge trying to cover his own ass, covering his client's ass, who's his partner. Mm. Ooh, the tangled web we weave. Now, this here I thought was good news. This is a terrorist that Democrats really love so much. To the Democrat opposed to deporting Mohammed Khalil, I'd never heard of the guy. Khalil is one of the leaders of the Columbia University Apartheid Divest. QAD is openly pro-Hamas student organization that has called October 7th a moral, military, and political victory. Praised praised a terrorist attack in Tel Aviv that killed 7 people, including a mother who died while shielding her 9-month-old baby. Damn. Defended one of the members who advocated for violence against Zionists. As a green card holder, it is illegal for Khalil to support U.S. designated terrorist organizations. He broke our country's law and should not be in our country. On March 9th, just the other day, arrested by ICE. Tom Holman's crew got him. Mohammed Khalid is set to probably, I would say, head to maybe Guantanamo Bay, or he may just get a ride out of the country. Who knows? But he's gone. Says he led activities aligned to Hamas. That's enough for me. You're out of there. And that's the WhiteHouse.gov's official uh, poster on him. So I'm all good with it too. Get his ass out of here. Actually, go lock his ass up, see what's wrong with him. Got a couple more for you folks. I didn't mean to keep my glasses on the whole time, but having to do a little reading today. It says Ashley Ingram, who served as Director of Finance and Operations for Habitat for Humanity of Central South Carolina, was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison today after pleading guilty to stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from the government. She worked as a Finance and Operations Director for the ACLU of South Carolina. Ingram worked as the accounting manager at Cactus Family Farms in Orangeburg. Well, she's been caught with her hand in the cookie jar. I told you they was wheeling us up to the ATM machine and bleeding us dry, or Joe dry, which in turn cost us. Congress was in on it too. Is my biggest problem. Yeah, glad to see it, folks. Glad to see it. Walked into jail. Perp walk your ass right on into your gray bar motel. Now, I thought this was good news. We don't actually have any news on it other than I read the whole article. So let me just tell you, it says FBI Director Kash Patel turns over the first batch of explosive January 6th pipe bomb documents to the House Republicans. Now, we do know that there is a little bit of footage out about the pipe bomber, but anytime anybody tried to investigate it and go anywhere with it, one of the FBI's own tried to investigate the pipe bomb, and he ended up getting sent to go after J6ers instead. And so this case has been almost dormant for a couple of years, with the exception of a few people like Dan Bongino and Benny Johnson and Charlie Kirk talking about this all the time. But we never found the pipe bomber. We never was able to track him, even though um, there's enough cameras around D.C. that they actually tracked him to a vehicle through the subway, uh, underground, and then above ground. And then the story says that they tracked him even to a vehicle. You can see the tags on the vehicle in the window. Uh, know the guy's information. The information they believe is the guy. Well, they've got a name on him, and comes to find out he is a government official. He is a government contractor at this point. But we don't really get any real details. It says on a detailed letter dated March 7th, 2025, the FBI explicitly committed to transparency, declaring under Director Patel's leadership, the FBI remains committed to working with Congress to ensure transparency, accountability, and all the other stuff that goes along with it. Now, Congress has tried to get this information. Several people, including Representative Loudermilk, he has tried really hard to get this to the bottom of this, and they have just stonewalled him. They said that the phones were unreadable. That proved to be a lie. But as far as things go, Kash Patel knows all this stuff, and he is now handing it over to Congress. Now, when Congress will act on it, when they'll go through it, when they will dribble out a little bit of information to us, will we get to see somebody arrested here in the next month or so because it is referred to as special counsel, or just referred back to Kash Patel as a crime? Because not only is there a criminal here, there is the fact that we need to stop this from ever happening again. It says as a sign of good faith, we are providing this initial production for more than a week ahead of the committee subpoena deadline. Assistant Director Marshall Yates wrote in a letter, but this will not be the last production we will send to satisfactorily comply with the committee's subpoena. To that end, we are diligently working to completely comply with your subpoenas. Subpoenas have been sent out. Give it up. Give it up. Including the groundbreaking release where the key documents labeled with the FBI HGC 119 to PB 00001 through 30. Okay, so 1 through 30 is the actual documents we want, which details the Bureau's investigation into the still unsolved mystery of the pipe bomb. You know, we got Dan Bongino, who knows more about this than most people, and he will probably be one of the people to bust this wide open because he has been digging into it for as long as the situation has been around. It's one of the few people that I know need to go to jail behind J6. Ray Epps, the pipe bomber, there's a few, no doubt about it. And just strangely enough, those are the people who never make it to jail. The ones that try to perpetrate the worst possible crime, including inciting the riot. Says it could be recalled that a report released by the Committee on House Administration Subcommittee and Oversight into the January pipe bomber shows the FBI stopped looking into the suspect in 2021 and just covered up the evidence. And we had Chris Ray to thank for that. Says and Bill Barr, who's I say nothing. Says in September, Secret Service agent Dan Bongino said, according to a whistleblower, after the pipe bomb were found at the RNC and the DNC headquarters, asset on the ground, including a whistleblower, was briefed about the pipe bombs the next day and show a picture of a guy in a hoodie. However, according to the whistleblower, the law enforcement agents were told to stand down 2 days later. Yeah, they covered that shit up. That's what really happened. Now, says former head of the FBI surveillance team revealed to the Daily Wire that shortly after the events on January 6, 2021, he was briefed at a firehouse in Falls Church, Virginia, about tracking down a person responsible for planning a pipe bomb in Washington, D.C. According to Seraphin, who is an agent, a counterintelligence team had successfully traced the individual's movement through Metro security footage identifying fare card used by the suspect that boarded the train. Following the bomb placement, investigators determined the suspect exited a North Virginia station where surveillance captured footage of the suspect entering a vehicle. Both the Metro fare card and the vehicle were registered to the same individual, a retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant working as a security cleared contractor. That's a government job right there. That's He probably works for one of these intel agencies, and we don't know all of his everything he does because he's a contractor. That kind of leaves him in the squishy area as far as knowing what all he does. Security cleared contractor. Says his surveillance team was tasked with closely monitoring the individual's residence for several days. However, Seraphin requested approval to directly interview the suspect. The FBI leadership denied the request. Shortly thereafter, the surveillance operation was canceled, and Seraphin's team was redirected to go hunt down J6ers and said instead, wow. So they didn't. They wanted to open a case on it. We didn't find nothing. Close the case on it. Move on to the next. They weren't trying to find the pipe bomber. They were the pipe bomber. They knew who the pipe bomber was, and they didn't want to find him. All right, folks, I got one more of these for you today. This is all about conviction, going to prison, getting exposed, and the tides are changing, folks. People are going to go to jail. I see people going to jail. Every one of these is about somebody going to jail. I did that today just to show you. You may not see it, but big things are happening behind the scenes. Here's another big one, and these people are going to go to jail too. These people need to be uh, really. Catholic Charities needs to be disbanded for the criminal activities they've been involved in, from promoting abortion to human trafficking. I said it. It says breaking news: Catholic Charities reported to DOJ for allegedly trafficking of illegal under RICO law. Ha! So somebody reported them. Okay, Catholic Charities, which I know for a fact they're part of the problem. I can see it right here in Texas. Says a formal complaint has been filed with the U.S. Department of Justice against Catholic Charities, accusing the organization, the NGO, for violating a Racketeering Influence and Corruption Act, RICO Act, through alleged involvement in facilitating illegal immigration. The complaint first brought to public attention by journalist Jack Posobiec via post on X. And we're going to scroll down a little bit, and we're going to listen to Mr. Jack Posobiec. I like him.
An investiture today, I guess, of a cardinal, another radical cardinal in the Catholic Church. You've been out there all day. There was a rally. There were a number of people there. Tell us first off, people, did you get confronted by officials after the morning report we did on the morning show with you, sir?
Steve, I was in there after the morning report. We went in to attend the services, just like every other faithful Catholic. And for some reason, I was singled out during the Mass towards the end and accosted by one of the church security saying that I was not allowed to film anymore and I had to put my phone away while everyone else was still filming. But yeah, apparently I was targeted, and they said I was posting malicious messages online. Go figure that one out. But I mean, it depends on how you define
the malicious messages. All we were doing was interviewing some of the people there from LifeSite News and others. You have two guests with you. Kevin, can you introduce to the audience who we have there? Can they introduce themselves?
Absolutely. So to my left is Rachel Mastrosgiacomo and Dr. Janet Smith, and they both wrote letters to JD Vance and Trump about this protest today, calling for the RICO investigation of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and each separately wrote letters. So, Janet, would you like to tell us about what was the impetus behind that?
Yeah, we have two of those. Rachel, I think, will talk more about one of them, which was the fact that the church has been covering up for sexual abuse within its own institution for decades and decades and decades. And McElroy's been one of the most offensive people for covering up sexual abuse. In fact, it was sexual abuse.
We all know about the Catholic priests that get covered for by the other Catholic priests.
That was covered up. One of the instances, he also covered up for McCarry. So we're extremely disappointed that McElroy is here in D.C. when he is guilty of the very thing that the church should be most energetic in getting out of its own institution, and then is receiving billions of dollars from the government to settle refugees and immigrants And again, with its record for preying on children, 300,000 children are missing, and the church has been accused of, we're accusing them of not doing their due diligence and due care of these people. And what are they doing? They're just saying, trust us, we're very trustworthy. Instead of saying, look, here's my books, let me show you the books. This is what we've done, this is how.
You know, this is a sad situation our country's been put through for the last 4 years, and we're just now getting to peel back the layers of the onion and see just how bad it is and where the rot is. Who paid for the rot? How much they paid to continue with the illegal migration and all the things that went along with it. But I can name half a dozen charities myself that I know somebody needs to look into, and Catholic Charities is top of the list. There's so many different, in the name of immigration, charities that took the government money to help facilitate people into this country from Panama, South America, all over Mexico, even in Canada, and direct flights from over in Europe to here. The Biden administration with their CBP One app facilitated with planes, buses, any means necessary to get them here as fast as they can, as fast as they could, at an outrageous expense. And these are the people that got rich off of it: the NGOs, the charities, all the foundations, Clinton foundations. They probably made money off of this. The Obama Foundation probably made money off this. Uh, we're gonna have to look into that, but I guarantee you, DHS getting looked into will be as bad as looking into USAID, because DHS money, uh, Department of Homeland Security, took the entirety of their funds to pump people into this country, and then started taking piles of funds from other agencies that fall under their purview. And FEMA is just one of the many that we've found out that they have spent the money on something besides disaster relief, what it's supposed to be used for. That's what I got for you today, folks. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already.